To mirror this over to the other side, we're just going to need to take the original geometry and rotate it around the y-axis. So if we tab into edit mode, you can see here's that original geometry. If I take this and I duplicate it, Shift D and enter, and then I take away this array modifier. I'm just going to hit the X here to take that away. You can see there it is selected. That's our duplicate. It's over here called plane 013. What I'm going to do now is just rotate it around the y-axis. So I'll press RY180, and there it is. It's over on the other side. Now that I've done that, it looks to me like these aren't going out far enough. There's too big of a gap between these. You can see here, there's a smaller gap. So now's the time to come in here and adjust this. So I'll grab this edge here and just hit G and begin moving it out just a little bit. Maybe like this, something like that. Let's try that. So I'll take this and delete that duplicate. I'll grab this original object again. I'll press Shift D and enter. Then I'll remove the array modifier. And there it is right there. I'll spin it around the y-axis, RY180. And there it is. Now that almost looks like it's too much, like it's too close. So let's try this again. I'm going to grab this and just bring it back. So it's just a matter of tweaking is all. And you don't really know where it's supposed to be until you go ahead and spin that around. So I'll duplicate it again, get rid of the array RY180. And let's see how that works. Yeah, I think that's probably pretty good. Let's go with that. So now we need to go through the same process with a new empty for the array. So I'll take this empty, this is just called empty, and I'll hide it away. And then let's go ahead and bring in a new one, because I don't want to turn this old one because it will affect the original treads there. So I'll press Shift A and bring in an empty plane axis, and there it is. So this one is empty 001. Now I want to take this and apply the rotation and the scale. Control A, rotation and scale. Now I want to apply or add an array modifier to it. I'll bring the count up to 6 again. I'll turn off relative offset, turn on object offset, click the eyedropper and select the empty. There we go. Now if we select that empty, hit R and X, there it is. We can see it going there. Now let's see where we need to put it. I'm going to go to the front view, but I'll press R and X so I can rotate it and kind of line it up with that original tread. So I think something about like that. Well, let me bring it back just a bit. Oops, RX. I'm going to go with that. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. Let's try it. We can always adjust it a little bit more once we've added more of the count to it. So let's select that tread. And over here in the array, let's increase the count all the way around. I think we had 36 the last time. Let's see how we do here. There's 36, and it comes out being just a little bit off. So let's go back to that empty, hit R and X, and I'll try and match this up. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That worked pretty well. Okay. So there we have our treads. Now I think we just need to do some adjusting here. So I'll select the original treads, and I think I'd like to apply the shrink wrap. I think we have it in the right place in terms of how far out from the tire it should be. So I'll click apply there. And then this solidify, I think we can apply this. We've got only rim turned on. So I'm going to take this to the top of the stack and click apply here. Now if we tab into edit mode and go to edge mode, I can select that edge right underneath here and begin pulling this in or out like this. So let's go to that front view. And if I pull this out some, maybe I can also pull this out a bit like this. And then go to the side view and maybe we can pull it in just a bit like this. So I'm just trying to get it to kind of blend in with the tire there. Yeah, something like that. And now let's do the same thing over on the other side. If I select the other side and tab into edit mode, there it is. So let's go ahead and apply that shrink wrap. And we'll apply the solidify. And we'll tab into edit mode and select that edge there inside the tire and pull that out. I'll go to the front view and we'll pull it out so it's more in line with the edge of the tire there. And then I'll grab this one and pull this out like that. All right. Now we can pull that back. Maybe bring it in. So I'm just trying to blend it in with the tire here, that's all. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. Let's now bring back the vehicle main here and take a look at it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now, one last thing before I apply the array modifier, I'd like to take this edge right here and let's bevel that. I'd like to press Control B. Let's just pull out, bevel that, add a couple of segments there just to round that out a bit. And let's try over here. This just looks a little bit too sharp for me. Let's do this one over here. Add the bevel there too. There we go. Yeah, I think that works pretty well. Let's now combine all of these into one object so we can place it for the other tires. So we need to first apply the arrays. Let's apply this one and apply this one here. Then let's select both of those treads there and the tire and press Control J to join them together. Then we'll come down to the object data and turn on auto smooth. And if we bring it up to about, I don't know, 32, 35 in there, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that looks okay. In here, I feel like I kind of want to put a sharp edge right along in here, let's say. Control E, mark sharp. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that helped there. Okay. And so now this is all one object, right? Well, not yet, because we have to join it with the wheel. So with the tire selected, I'll then select the wheel, and let's press Control J there. Now we may need to play with the auto smooth again. Let's bring this down. So if we adjust the smoothness over here, the angle, we really can't get it the way we want it for both the tire and the wheel when it's all one object. So that's fine. We can just take the wheel and split it back out, or I can just undo it. There we go. So what I can do now is move these in conjunction with each other to the other parts of the vehicle. Let me select this empty and delete it. And I'll grab this empty and delete it. So we can clean that up a bit. Now what let's do is take these two objects here, and let's move the cursor to the center of the grid with Shift S1. Now we need to move the origins of these to the 3D cursor. So I'll go to Object, Set Origin, Origin to 3D Cursor. And then if we add a mirror modifier, so we do that, we have the wheel, let's select the tire, add modifier, mirror, and we have the tire over there as well. So let's grab that temporary wheel and delete it. There we go. Now we can take this tire and this wheel. Let's go to the wireframe and let's just duplicate it and move it over here. So Shift D, Y, and I'll just drag it over, put it right in here. Let's get rid of those temporary ones. Here, delete, here, and delete this one too. There we go. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. I think as we texture these, they're going to look pretty cool with all the treads. Now, one last thing we could do is take this and duplicate it and put it on the back. If we go over and take a look at one of the back views, let's take a look at this one here. Yeah, we have it on the back. So to do that, let's grab the tire and the wheel. Let's duplicate it and bring it out here like this. Let's take the mirror modifier off of there for the wheel and the tire. Let's move the pivot point or the origin back to the center of these guys. I'll select both of them and go to Object, Set Origin, and I'm going to try Alt-click Origin to Geometry. Let's try that. Now if we select the tire and the wheel, the origin has been moved to the center of each of the parts. So let's select this and let's turn it in the Z-axis, RZ90. There we go. And let's move it up into place. So maybe if I go to the top view, I can see it here and move it right to there. And let's take a look at it in the side view. Let's move this up to there. And how's that look? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Actually, it looks like it spun around. So let's grab both of these objects and spin it around in the Z-axis. Let's press RZ180 like that and see how that works. So in the next video, what let's do is let's begin working on building up the underneath part of the vehicle to kind of fill in the space while not adding a massive amount of polygons.